Today I'm back with our resident whale on the channel and good friend Ben, also known as Nighttime, and we're here to talk about cursed gear, the positives and the negatives. There's some great things about cursed gear, but there's also some things that are extremely annoying and frustrating, so I figured we would discuss that today. We just were on yesterday talking about another topic regarding Battlegrounds. If you missed that video, go check it out. But Ben, it's a pleasure to have you back, my friend. What's going on, buddy?
Man, it's great to be here. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about cursed gear-wise, even some that seem stupid that aren't really obvious, but are kind of neat. So, like,
Yeah.
my big one is Echoing Shade actually feels like a strong gem if you use the two set of the summoning thing, the Vexed one. Because
Yeah.
it's just a random burst of damage now when you're doing whatever. So it's like, hey, you get a clone and you get a little extra damage.
And that's something I
Whereas,
wasn't even thinking. Like, I have a couple of those summons cursed pieces of gear, and I was thinking I don't even need this. I'm not using a necromancer, but really I do use the Echoing Shade gem, so you are getting some extra, you know.
I personally
Buff
think
from
it's
it.
also one of the better effects, at least the two set. I wouldn't go past that unless you're like a necro, but
Fair enough. Fair enough. But it's obviously class dependent, right? Certain classes are going to benefit from some, other classes aren't. What's one thing that you get, or we both as barbarians, I know you have the necro as well, but what don't you get any benefit from? Like, what's the negative cursed property that you want on everything?
oh, the one that I personally want as a necromancer is the dash skill one, this one right here. And I look for that on most of my PvP sets because, well, I don't use dashes as a necromancer. Whereas if I was, God, I don't even know what I'd want because most of these you don't want to lose.
Yeah,
I'd
I
probably
know.
want the summons one if I was almost any other class, to be honest, like the summon damage one. But as necro, that'd be the worst thing in the world. So,
Right. Kill your build. Totally. This is the issue that I see with this. So we're able to switch the positive effects of cursed gear, but you can't switch the negative effects of cursed gear. So it's like a double grind we have to do. You're looking for a piece of cursed gear. Essentially, we're looking for cursed gear with negative effects that we like versus positive effects because we can always re-roll those positives. But the problem comes when you finally get, okay, me, like, if I don't want a dash skill, I don't use dash skills with my barbarian, so we're gonna go, I want to try and get as many negative effect dash skills as I can. I get some good gear, but then I start getting new gear that's stronger, so you see the arrows up, you want to equip it.
like this one.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you want to put that on, but if the
But I
if the
don't
negative,
want this.
what is that?
The damage dealt by your
Yeah.
summons reduced by 4%.
Yeah, you can't use that, and that's the problem. It's a huge upgrade for you, but you can't use it because of the negative effect, and you can't re-roll that. So essentially, that piece of gear is just useless for you, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I still use it in like combat or challenge rifts if I need the little bit, but uh, yeah, for the most part, I wouldn't ever actually just equip it. Unless it's PvP, because then you don't really use summons, and then it's kind of irrelevant there, but
Yeah. I wonder why Blizzard went and made it so that you could re-roll the positives but not the negatives. I mean, either
I
way it would be an issue, right? If it was
I
one or the
was
other.
I was actually genuinely hoping it was like an essence system like they had with your legendaries, because I thought that would be so much nicer. And it's like, oh, you can pick your negative and your positive on this after you've unlocked each one.
Yeah. The issue here is that it's a constant grind. You're always going to have this grind because as you, okay, Hell 9, Hell 10 are eventually going to come out. We're going to have to replace all of our gear, so we're going to have to regrind just like we do our secondary gear, right? Like, you're
Yeah,
always trying to get stronger with the and I mean, at least you could craft
ridiculous.
that though. At least we could craft those.
Yeah, no, I mean, I genuinely just I like some of it and I hate the other half. Like, nobody wants a negative effect on your gear. I don't know what they were thinking honestly when they did that, to be completely real with you, but
Yeah.
I guess the effects are kind of strong enough where you need some sort of negative, but
I
it
think
feels
it's
like too much.
I think it's more they just wanted to add something else to grind for in the game, which this definitely does. I just don't love it because it's something that you're gonna have to continuously grind over and over again as you progress through the game. So now,
Well,
because I don't, who has any regular gear anymore? I have one piece of regular gear because it's still a reservist piece from when I swapped a month ago, and I haven't
I
gotten a better piece of shoulders.
I don't even think I legitimately have any like non
Mm-hmm.
ancestral gear or cursed gear anymore.
Yeah, and I just got back on my warband a month ago. It took me until yesterday to get an ancestral piece of gear, so I can finally get some ancestral properties back, which is nice.
I
But
was gonna say that's probably the most important thing to make sure you still have at least one of those equipped too. So I would never use the 6 set, so you have your ancestral like benefits still.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that. But if you remember, do you think back before cursed gear? You go to turn in your stuff and to salvage everything. How many pieces of ancestral gear would you have? I would have tons. And I would be like, all right, I got to manually do all these. I got to check it to see what's stronger and what's not. But now I feel like that's gone. It's all about cursed gear. And I think that cursed gear is going to be the standard. I think that's just going to be what gear is at this point, which I don't think is bad if we could do one of two things. One, re-roll the negative effect as well, or two, re-roll the, I'm sorry, not re-roll, but craft the gear itself,
Well,
like we can do secondaries.
I don't know about crafting cursed gear because that's just crafting legendaries then, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like they drop semi enough for that, but I do agree that there needs to be an easier way to re-roll both properties, like the beneficial one and the negative one.
Yeah.
Whether it be a system where you get to pick, like the essence system, that would be the ideal one because then people wouldn't be stressed out about, oh man, I didn't get this one on this or I didn't get that one on that. And it would just make everybody feel better, you know? Getting
Listen,
good things always makes you feel better.
we want to feel good. I mean, the problem is, and I even see the problem with secondary gear, right? You run
Yeah,
yourself some dungeons, you get stronger gear that you really don't equip because you don't have the right, the right properties. So you don't want to lose your set bonuses. So you kind of are just putting aside gear that you would typically wear because of the arrows up, and you're just
even the gem slots are important in the set gear, and half the time it's like, oh man, I got the greatest roll, and then it's only got 2 gem slots instead of 3, and it's like,
yeah.
is it really worth losing whatever?
I guess I mean
Or
I like that there's just stuff to always grind for, right? Blizzard
I
must,
do too. That's a good thing
yeah,
because it gives the game more replayability.
exactly. But there's a point where it's just like, okay, now essentially all of our gear we have to regrind for. That's like that's 12 pieces of gear, and like I said, at least the secondary gear we can craft it. And you run your dungeons. You don't have to wait. You just run whatever dungeon you like, and you craft it when you can. And you hope it's strong enough. But with the cursed,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this is something that could come around. We've seen Blizzard over time improve things, quality of life improvement, and
I'm honestly hoping they do just exactly what you're about to say because that was
yeah,
what I was gonna bring up next anyway.
yeah. I mean,
They
why
do a
not?
good job of improving things over time. It's just sometimes people want it way quicker than they do improve it, and I kind of understand that side too.
I mean, why not give us another thing? What are they called? Purification stones or
Shards or
shards?
whatever. Yeah,
Right. Okay. So
yeah, I got you.
purification shards, they're going to allow you to switch your positive effects. Where are they? I'm trying to see on my thing here where I have any of them.
I
Oh, right
probably
here.
have some.
I have a ton of them, 62 of them. Purification shards. Give us a second type of purification shard if you don't want to use the same one. It could be like, different color that re-rolls the secondary pieces or the negative effects of the cursed gear. And then we won't, I guess, feel so trapped, right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, I would love a way to re-roll those effects because there's some gear that I have that I really want to use, but it's like I don't think it's worth losing 20% of my primary attack damage.
I know, and I am. So now another thing worth saying here. If I'm using a set that loses 4% of primary attack damage, every piece, is that another 4%, or is that 4%?
Yes, they
It
all
is.
stack, so it just keeps going and going. Like right now, I think I don't even like the ones I have on now. I have 3 beneficial duration ones that are reduced, which means my summons even last 9% less.
Oh, your build is trash, man. What are you doing? Or I actually didn't even look. I'm going to look at that screen on my own. That's something that I didn't check out myself. Let me see here. So if I go here, it shows me that's ancestral. Here we go. So my primary attack damage is reduced by 3%. Dash skill cooldowns is increased. So I don't
Yes,
care about the dash. So actually, it's not bad. I'm just losing my primary attack because I only have 2
that's
set
that's my
pieces.
personal ideal one, is to lose the dash one for everything, because I never use a dash on Necro. Although I might start when I get the new essence. I haven't been playing as much as I'd like to, but that one looks kind of cool, where you dash into stuff and it fears and does damage.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. I mean, I like how they're always. It's crazy also how they're bringing so many new pieces of gear, with essences
That's the
every
only thing
update.
left that keeps the game fresh, though, to be honest.
They're gonna run out of stuff at some point, man. We're gonna have 75 pieces of gear, per slot as this game progresses. They're
Yeah,
gonna
but
they're gonna slow
I
down.
I do personally really love that, though, because it gives me so many different ways to play each and every class. Like,
Yep.
I have a little build. Well, actually, I'll go make it quick on this character that I like to play just to farm around the world.
Okay.
That I don't see anybody using on Necromancer, and it's completely different than any other style of playing this. Like, it's no summons. It's not like you're well, it's one summon. I use the mage,
Mm-hmm.
but it's mainly just like a dash around and throw stuff out, throw your little lawnmower skulls out, you know.
Huh. Yeah. Let's see what that is. Um. Yeah. I think it's. I understand what they're going for, and I think that it can be. I think it's an easy fix, right? If we just get something that could make the swap happen really quickly, I
Yeah,
think it's an easy
no,
fix.
I totally get it too, because some of these effects, like I said, are extremely strong, and I get you want to add a negative thing, and it's like, oh, it gives you a million things to farm for, so it's endless.
Yeah. By the way, that was a sick looking teleport you just used right
Yeah,
there.
I know. I think it's perfect for Necros, right?
Yeah, that was real nice. That was real nice. I have another question off topic as you put this build together. First of all, have you tried all the classes in the game, or have you stuck with Barb and Necro?
uh, I have played Monk, Barb, Necro, somewhat Demon Hunter, and I've played Wizard a little bit, but I could never get in the Wizard, so it was
Yeah,
kind of just like,
it's a
eh.
slower build.
Well,
Um,
that, and it was just beams, which just felt boring too. That one always worked, so it was like, you know.
I mean, the wizard's strong. Area of effect is strong. I just hated how when you're using Ray of Light and Ray of Frost, you're stagnant. You can't move. So the question I have is, when Blood Knight eventually comes out, assuming it actually does, will you try it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hmm. All
I'd
right.
try anything, man. I mean, they're fun.
So why
Everything's
not?
different.
Have you tried Crusader or no?
Yeah, well, I've tried it. Most of the characters I try on characters without much resonance, like the one that I showed you yesterday, my barbarian,
Right.
because I feel that's a good way to actually see if it's a good character. You know, it's not just.
Just resonance based, right? Where you're
Yeah,
gonna smash no matter what.
exactly.
Oh, that's a good point.
Exactly.
Well, that's how you showed me the barbarian build that I'm running as well. You showed me it, I think you had less resonance than I did, and I was watching
Yes,
you
I do.
melt stuff. I'm like, and I said to you, I'm like, well, it's so strong because you're stronger than me, and you're like,
I'm
really?
like, I don't think so.
No. And now I'm using it, and it is still incomplete. I've been grinding a lot, and I still haven't found that darn legendary. I need like a trick of where to find legendary
Well,
primary pieces of armor.
you can. Here's a little tip. If it's, you can see what hell difficulty it drops from, I believe, in here. If I have one that's not locked.
No, it's this. It's this. It's the second from the right.
Oh wait, here I can do it on this way. Oh no, it doesn't show me on this one. But
Go to
yeah,
the one on the right.
no,
It's
I
it's
don't.
it's the primary attack weapon.
Oh no, I know what weapon is. I was just saying most pieces of gear say they drop
Oh,
from hell whatever or higher. This is what I was getting at here.
yeah.
So if you go to like hell 1 or hell 2, or where, if it doesn't have a number on it, well, I'll check the weapon.
It does have a number on it. I think it's Hell 6 or
So
something like
you
that.
want to just farm hell 6 then,
Right
because
there.
yeah, it's hell 6. So because then you won't get any of these drops, like the hell 7 or 8 ones of each other piece, and you can just hopefully get that one from hell 6. So that would take out like 3 things from that pool, 3 things from that pool.
Well, the only
It
one
just
I need
makes,
is that, so I would essentially be narrowing down my
yeah, yeah, you're reducing
odds.
the number of things in your pool of item drops.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's actually a great tip that I'm going to try.
And this was my little fun build that I like to do randomly because, well, I'll show you. It works out decently well, and I'm not sure how much of this one has to do with resonance, but I
No,
actually
that's
think I have
okay.
the wrong shoulders on, and I just realized that
Well, let's see what you got going on here.
I do have the wrong shoulders on.
Oh man.
I need to make it the bone spike range one. One more second.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I want to see what this build looks like. And is Zoltan Cool your go-to farming
This
spot?
is my personal favorite spot, but I mean, there's a ton of them. I just like this because I got used to the rotation. Oh no, I do have the right one on it. It's supposed to be the mage one. I haven't done this in so long, so I apologize.
It's been a minute, huh? That's all
It's
good.
been about a month, actually.
I think I'm getting a delivery. Let me close my window.
Sounds like it.
There we go. We're gonna hear my dogs freaking out now. All right, so let's watch a little bit of this, then we'll close things out. Okay, let's see what you got going here.
So I like to do it this way, where you just throw your random stuff around. This taunts things when you use your dash, and that blows up eventually and kills stuff. So you can just throw mages and dash around. The mages usually kill everything.
All right, so
Come
mages,
back,
you got
take
your
it.
skeleton heads that float around, and then you just go clean up all the stuff.
Yeah, and usually it spawns right on time, but I guess I missed this one a little bit.
Hmm.
There's my lawnmowers going around, you know?
Lawnmower.
That's
I like
what they
that.
look like.
I like that. It's funny, I've never used that, even when I was only a
That's
necro
what I
probably for
mean,
3
like,
months.
There's so many different ways to play every class here, and it's just like, you don't have to do the same thing. That's kind of what I fell in love with in this game. Just a ton of ways to play.
Yeah, that is really fun, actually, that you could just, even with one class, even if someone doesn't want a class change, you could completely create different builds and have a lot of fun
and
with
then things go to that instead of whatever your minion is. Like this, in my case, it's just this and the lawnmower, and it usually kills everything.
it. I love it, man.
That taunts.
That's
You
fun.
just run around.
That's fun for sure. All right, so let's close out the video here. Cursed gear, positives and negatives. I think what we've come up with here is that we need a way to re-roll the negative effects of cursed gear so that we don't have to just completely redo gear every time we're trying to get something that's stronger. The unnecessary excessive grind for cursed gear. Did I say that right along how you're feeling as well?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly like the fact that they're trying to add more to the game. However, I dislike the fact that there's a lot of gear you would prefer to use that you can't use because of it.
Yeah, I feel limited, right? Like we're stuck in a corner, a
exactly.
little limited.
So giving me a way to reroll the secondary would be a perfect fix for it.
I appreciate it. I agree. And I thank you again for coming through the channel. I'll continuously have you come through as the resident whale here in the channel. Although this wasn't a whale related topic in any way, but it was just a good one to have a discussion over. Thanks again, man. Why don't you say your goodbyes and whatever you want to say before we head out for the day?
Well, same thing as always, I guess. It's pretty much, if anybody's feeling down and needs to talk, I'm nighttime on Ball and Oceania. So if you just need to talk, it's 1T, and I'll be here.
Such a good guy. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming to the channel. If you guys enjoyed the video, show some love for Nighttime, aka Ben, in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on tomorrow's video.